and scroll. Talk and scroll. Talk and scroll.
Subscribe. What's going on? This is TNS Time and Space, and I would like to welcome you to episode 17 of Talk and Scroll. Before we begin, I would invite you to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be made aware of any time that I post new content. But anyway, now that the housekeeping is done, I want to get into this particular article. I did a preview of it, a preview video, and I want to just jump into it. So basically, there was this viral photograph, this viral post, this viral picture of a young lady by the name of Ania Houston, who actually posed with guns. As you can see, this is her posing for her prom pictures, or before her prom, I should say. So she posted this. This was unsavory. It wasn't good judgment, to say the least. It wasn't great imagery. And she also had a caption, or, the post, which was, ratchet, for lack of a better term. It was ratchet. However, there were definitely excessive ramifications, I could say. So I'm not going to read it all verbatim, but as you can see, it says, update: the student who posed with guns in her prom pics got expelled from the high school she was attending, so no graduation. TSU, that being Tennessee State University, which is a historically Black college. It is an HBCU. So Tennessee State University also took her full ride scholarship away. She was a straight A student. So I just want to get into this, number one, because there were plenty of reactions. Lots of people had a lot to say, obviously, as I do as well, because it's pretty controversial. So I want to just get into some of the comments and respond to them. As you can see, this is her. She's 18 years old. So a high school senior. Teenagers make mistakes. You know what I mean? This was a critical mistake, unfortunately. So this was her response to being expelled. She said, if nobody is proud of me, I am. Been working very hard to get to where I want to be, and I'm still not done yet. I'm just getting started. TSU will see me. And so somebody said, all I know is I'm not posting my daughter or son with the Glockiana for prom. I feel for her, though, because there are clear double standards and we all know it. Also, captions and context matters. Is she at the gun range? No. Is she hunting? No. So without opening up all of those comments, basically there are people who were pretty judgmental, you know what I mean? As people tend to do, they tend to say, I would never do that. It's actually, it's a particular bias where anytime that or it's called attribution bias. It's called attribution bias. So basically, anytime someone else does something wrong, we look at it as a character flaw. But if we do something wrong, we look at it as a result of poor circumstances. So if I did something wrong, then it's because of my circumstances. If you did something wrong, it's because of your character or your lack thereof. So somebody says, oh, well, y'all need to learn how to raise your damn kids. This is unnecessary on so many levels, down to the dress. I'm over it. So again, people being judgmental. It says that she was a straight A student. So this particular lapse in judgment, I don't believe is indicative of her as a person. It obviously doesn't look good. This is the particular image or caption that went viral. Unfortunately, her getting straight A's didn't go viral. You know what I mean? Nobody knew who she was until she made a mistake. Someone else said, but white people do it all the time. Definitely a race thing. There's photos of them doing it in my replies for their prom pics. If the guns are illegal, I understand. Save the morality and taste speeches. They do not equal legality. So exactly, it comes down to morality. Nowadays, we tend to get on a moral high horse. We tend to get on a high horse so that we can be critical of people. We tend to do that, and we tend to do lots of virtue signaling. But anyway, I want to jump over to another article, and I'm going to make sure to zoom in to look at some other comments because I felt like this was particularly relevant. So I'm just zooming this in. Let's get this to like 300. Let's get this to 300 or so. So I want to make sure to zoom this in. So as it said, the student who posed with guns in her prom pics got expelled. So let's look at some of these comments. So somebody said, should have thought about that before the cooning. Shame needs to make a comeback in the Black community. Now, again, no one is saying that this young lady didn't display poor judgment. However, we have to understand that she's 18 years old. You know, the imagery is not good. However, I'm sure that she didn't understand the ramifications. And I wouldn't call her a coon if she's a straight A student. Did she make a mistake? Yes. But clearly, I can say that the human mind or the human brain, and research has proven this, that the human brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. So unfortunately, it's extremely judgmental. And I work with young people and I tell them that in these days and times, it's extremely unforgiving. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people making these comments, a lot of what they did at 18 years old would have gotten them canceled, or they may have lost opportunities. However, it didn't circulate nearly as much. You know what I mean? Nobody was running around with camcorders in the same way that they're running around with smartphones. So again, she showed poor judgment. No argument there. As far as saying that it was cooning or that shame needs to make a comeback, she's definitely been shamed, but you have to ask yourself, is it worth her losing her entire future over a lapse in judgment or over a youthful indiscretion? And no one was hurt, by the way. No one was hurt by the image. It's not like she shot anyone or anything like that. So for this person, extremely judgmental, I can say that you have to think about yourself when you were 18. A lot of people will virtue signal and say, well, there's no way I would have made a mistake like that. You may not have made that particular mistake, but there are plenty of mistakes that we've all made that weren't amplified or magnified or as visible as they are today. So someone says, that's way too harsh. Ain't like she was on the premises with the guns. I can agree with that. It's a matter of posing with guns. Did it look good? No, not necessarily. I just believe that the university could have handled it differently. And a lot of times we pile on the youth and we criticize the youth and we down them and we're harsh towards them, but we don't ever take the time to make it a counsel culture. We're so quick to cancel. So this person says shame needs to make a comeback. What about making it a teachable moment? What about that in the Black community or in any community? So scrolling back up to this, shame needs to make a comeback. What about teaching one another? You know, shame is one thing, fine. It's already viral. The image is already viral. I think the shame aspect is covered, but what about making it a teachable moment so that she could grow from it? So this person responded to that saying, a free scholarship makes you an unofficial mascot for the college you are going to attend. So yeah, might want to chill on social media till you graduate. I mean, you can say that, but life doesn't happen in a vacuum. So ideally, yes, you would stay off of social media and be completely studious and upstanding and only promote the most positive images. However, it was prom. She probably figured that she's a high school senior. She was in her young mind, in her young 18-year-old mind. She was obviously a good student and she made a mistake. So moving on, somebody said, this isn't something to finger wag at. She is a kid. The action committed does not warrant stripping her the opportunity to better herself. Question that should be asked is why Timothy and Zach's bright future is considered when rape and murder is on the table. Yet when it comes to ours, taking away a bright future is the punishment they run to when prison isn't an option. Yes, we definitely are punitive towards our own. We definitely are punitive towards our own, but I believe in restorative justice. You know, I'm going to look through some more comments and then offer what I believe would have been a more positive alternative. So someone else said there's a difference between using a gun at a range and posting that and you being in your prom dress talking about the college you are going to with weapons everywhere to look cool. She looks absolutely dumb and stupid. Let's quit lying here. The guns didn't add anything to her prom pics. Exhibit 948 4847 on why keeping your socials clean are important. I feel for her though, because it's a young and dumb mistake, but you did it for the gram for people to see. They saw. TSU changed their mind. She was about to start a new journey and was still thinking about trying to flex from her past. See, I would understand that if she were 35 years old, or even if she was 25 years old, or even if she was 21. However, she's 18 years old. So ideally, you can say, yes, keep your socials clean, but no one is thinking about those implications. Is it unfortunate? Yes. However, I believe that the impact of this situation could have been magnified in a positive light if TSU had worked with her. If Tennessee State University, instead of, with revoking the scholarship, if they had worked with her, but I'm going to get into that. Let me just read some more. Actually, I'm going to scroll through before I continue. So let's see. Right to bear arms. People talked about that issue, that she got expelled from high school, so no high school diploma. I wanted to get to this particular comment. The girl played a stupid game and won a dumbass prize. F whatever them crackers you talking about are doing. Extremely judgmental and extremely harsh. So you say that the girl, mind you, the girl played a stupid game, not a grown woman, not a full-grown adult. A girl, a young person played a stupid game and won a dumb prize. That's unfortunate. I mean, we don't give our young people a chance to grow and learn from mistakes. We expect them to be perfect. So someone said, stupid way to ruin your future. White girl would have got away with it, no doubt. Maybe so, maybe not. We don't know that for sure. Race ultimately isn't the issue. Essentially, when it comes down to it, it's a matter of, as they said, making an example out of her, which honestly, I don't believe that the school should have been in a rush to preserve their own image, because that's what this is about. It's straight out of the playbook of anytime someone does anything unsavory, the institution or the organization is in a rush to distance themselves. So people might say, and there are other comments that I remember from before, as we go through this thread where it talked about, oh, well, HBCUs need to distance themselves from people who are ghetto or people who are ratchet. And I can understand that, but I think a greater impact, instead of just excluding people, would be to include them and say, you know what, young lady, you made a terrible mistake. We would like for you to make a public statement, or for you to have your scholarship on a probationary status, meaning that you would be heavily monitored. And if there were any other instances to come about like that, then you would lose your scholarship. I mean, we're not allowing anyone to make a mistake. We're essentially saying that if you don't nail it perfectly, then you're not worthy. So you either have to be perfect or you're not worthy. So someone else, let's see, what do I want to talk about? Let's see. So we see more pictures of, white people or whoever posing with guns. That's really not the issue to me. That's not the issue to me. Someone said, I don't know the rules. Is she of legal age to be in possession of a firearm? That's another issue entirely, because she's not, being brought up on any criminal charges or anything like that. If I recall, page 5 had something interesting to discuss with this. So someone had a sarcastic comment. They said, I'm sure the NRA will support and use their vast financial resources to support this young lady, just like they did to support Rittenhouse and George Zimmerman. Again, that's getting away from the issue. I want to make sure that we stay focused on, what we're talking about. So yeah, here we go. Somebody said, which is the saddest thing, why is a straight A student engaging in such a lifestyle? Shame, shame, shame. That's the problem with images on social media. One picture of this straight A student has people believing that she's engaging in a lifestyle. A picture does not equal a lifestyle, but unfortunately, people are judgmental and our mistakes get magnified, whereas our accomplishments get minimized. So someone said this needs to be expanded on, but watch people deflect. I will most certainly not deflect. I would like to dive completely into that. We don't know that it's a lifestyle. We don't know that it's a lifestyle. She's an A student. Who knows what the particular climate or environment is, but she's just starting in her life. If anything, if we want people to move beyond that and move past it, How about Tennessee State as an HBCU? How about they facilitate that? I would have loved for this young lady to do a public statement, to have done some sort of campaign where maybe she could speak with other incoming freshmen about the impact of negative images on social media and how social media never forgets, how unforgiving the public is, how unforgiving the comment section is. People are just ruthless, honestly. I mean, people are upset about this picture, but the reaction to this picture is telling to me. So I just wanted to talk about that. It says, I would agree, but the caption, song lyric, or whatever implied she was ready for violence. With that being said, these kids need to stay off social media. If there was no place to flex on imaginary haters, this never happens. It's unrealistic to say that kids need to stay off social media because, for that matter, adults could stay off of social media too, unless you want to say that you need to be 21 and over. But that's not realistic. There are 8-year-olds with smartphones, and you can create a social media account at 13 years old. Do we need to monitor it? Yes. But I don't believe that this particular infraction or this crime should be punishable by not having a future just because she was imperfect. So someone said she threatened classmates with gun violence. High school has zero tolerance for much less. That was not wise. Plus, Tennessee State is a legacy school. They have a higher prestige than many. See, that's the thing. We're so concerned about the school's prestige. What is their purpose? Is their purpose just to have their legacy and to only accept the absolute perfect, best and brightest? Or do they want to work with people and, churn out individuals who can be productive members of society from diverse backgrounds? So it sounds kind of uppity. Not that Tennessee State themselves said that, but that decision makes them seem kind of uppity in a sense. So let's see. Okay, somebody said, y'all trying y'all damnedest to make this girl look bad. F you mean lifestyle. It's a picture. You act like she got multiple assault with a deadly weapon charges. Y'all wild on here. Yeah, it's true. We definitely magnify the picture. It's a picture. Again, poor judgment, agreed. But I believe that the school could have most certainly worked with her to create some sort of public service announcement, some sort of campaign, anything so that she could learn from it and so that others could benefit from her experience. I do believe that. And as far as I know, it seems as though she'll still be attending the school, although not on a scholarship. I certainly wish this young lady the best. And I hope that this has been a learning experience and that people are ruthless. We're criticizing the girl. I'm criticizing the comments. I'm criticizing all of the people who have so much negativity to spew towards her. But anyway, this has been another episode of Talk and Scroll. Y'all take it easy. I mean, it's crazy because I always thought I needed a cameraman,
A girl getting dragged for making a poor decision. Why we gotta punish our young men and women? She was posing with guns, she made a mistake. But we got the comment sections, they all full of hate. Wonder why people was criticizing, acting like the young girl was over 25, but she 18 and the teens make mistakes. Gotta give some more forgiveness. Wonder why we all act perfect the way we living, making them decisions.
And it wasn't no social media in the 90s.
But y'all wanna put her down, though. That's profound, no. I wonder why people is acting really perfect. If we go below the surface, yeah, they took away the scholarship. Then you got the fucking school damn apologists. They want to look real perfect and have an image. But what if they had did this? What if they could make that a teachable moment? She could just own it. Maybe she could have some atonement. Maybe she could make a statement. But people, they be hating.